speakers, invited guests, colleagues, and dear participants from India and abroad to celebrate World Bamboo Day. I am sure we are going to learn a lot from this primitive grass called bamboo and scope of skill development and entrepreneurship in this sector. So before I start, let me make some. Please put off your mic during the talks to avoid interferences and post your details like name with salutation, email ID, designation, attendance purpose, and please make sure participation certificates. Post your questions in the chat box. We'll try to entertain all your queries after the talk of these speakers. Please finish the presentation in the allotted time as we have a long list of talks. Now I invite Professor Nirmala Chongtham, the coordinator of DSC Center for Policy Research at Punjab University Chandigarh and World Bamboo Ambassador from India, guests and participants. Ma'am, platform is yours. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mamta. Thank you, Mamta. And a very good morning to all. It is indeed a great pleasure for that I, on behalf of DST Center for Policy Research, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and the World Bamboo Organization, USA, extend a very warm welcome to all our esteemed speakers, Mr. Sanjeev Karpe, Dr. Murtaleen, Dr. Ajit, Dr. Natasha, Dr. Santosh, and Harjeet, faculty members, researchers, students, and all bamboo friends from India and the world. It is indeed a great day, and I first of all wish you a happy World Bamboo Day. And on the onset, I would like to just mention a few words about World Bamboo Day and the World Bamboo Organization. So the World Bamboo Day is a global event celebrated on 18 September. So it was first started in 9th World Bamboo Congress in Thailand, and with the efforts of the World Bamboo Organization and the Thai Royal Forest Department. And it is a day to create awareness and promote this multi-purpose plant, which can cater to all basic human needs, starting from housing, day-to-day uses that we can have fodder, then clothes, fuel, biofuel, and also food and medicine, a lot of things. And World Bamboo Organization, which initiated the World Bamboo Day, it is headquartered at Massachusetts, USA, and it is organization which is formed by diverse groups. There are individuals, there are corporate bodies, there are institutions. So it is open to all, and we all work for a common purpose, that is for the interest of bamboo. And it facilitates the exchange of information from all over the world, and we discuss on environment, on socio-economical issues, biological and cultural aspects of bamboo. And also WBO aims to protect the natural resources and the environment, and to ensure sustainable utilization. We promote the cultivation of bamboo for use in industries. And also, apart from the day-to-day networking, once in 3 to 4 years, we organize a World Bamboo Congress to bring all the bamboo enthusiastic and professionals on one platform, so that we can develop partnership also and create a better world. And we have the World Bamboo Organization has dedicated volunteers who are known as World Bamboo Ambassadors, who stirred the World Bamboo Organization. And there are 42 ambassadors from different countries. And we work individually, but we connect as a team, and we collaborate to expand the mission of the World Bamboo Organization. So anybody calls up, anybody wants some help, then they can just connect with us, and we try best to help it out. And in today's webinar, we are going to discuss scope for skill development and entrepreneurship in bamboo in India. And the speakers will deliberate on this miracle grass, bamboo, which is also known as Kalpavrishka in India, in the Indian literature, because it can fulfill all the necessities of humans. So, and it caters, we all know that it caters to more than 2 billion people, and a lot of biological organisms are also depend upon bamboo, and most of all, they give us a very clean environment. So to start the celebration, we have a very special message from Suzanne Lucas, the Executive Director of World Bamboo Organization, and she is based in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and she is a horticulturist and a consultant. So we can now go over to Suzanne's message.
Hello, my name's Suzanne Lucas. I'm the Executive Director of the World Bamboo Organization, and I'm happy to be here virtually to share with you the world of bamboo on this great occasion of World Bamboo Day. So let me first just thank you for thinking of bamboo, because as you know, it's a traditional plant, a giant grass used by billions of people around the world for many, 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 many decades. And now, with recent developments and research and technology, we've come to know the modern potentials of bamboo. And we feel very fortunate to realize that this plant can help restore our health, the health of us, the health of the planet. We know that bamboo can provide us with many daily necessities. It's a very utilitarian plant. But by planting bamboo and managing bamboo, we can help restore the planet. We can take degraded lands and plant them with bamboo where appropriate, and sustainably cultivate and manage these bamboos to provide food for us, for domestic animals, provide wildlife habitat, and the great benefit of carbon sequestration. We know that with climate change, it's due to the amount of carbon dioxide that we are emitting into the air, and this is changing our climate. So, fortunately, bamboo, this wonderful, wonderful giant grass, has the ability to suck up that excess carbon dioxide and recycle it into oxygen and store it for long periods of time in durable goods. So, as we celebrate World Bamboo Day, I want you to think more about what bamboo can do for us, how it can help us and the planet, and make life just better all around. So with that, let me say thank you and encourage you to continue thinking bamboo, because bamboo is growing and we can all make a difference to make this planet a better place for all of us. Thank you, and happy World Bamboo Day.
It is estimated that there are more than 2 billion hectares, that is nearly 5 billion acres, of deforested and degraded land around the world waiting for human intervention to save it, to nourish it, and breathe new life into it. The health of our planet needs us to do something big as soon as possible. In many cases, the natural biome in these regions will never return due to toxic pollution that has led to collapsed ecosystems and the extinction of local flora and fauna. However dismal, these lands can recover and regain ecological functionality. When considering the optimization of forest ecosystem goods and services, as societal needs change and new challenges arise, bamboo has a tremendous role to play. We've heard about planting trees, yes, but it's also time to plant bamboo. Bamboo is resilient and adaptable, with immense biodiversity. Bamboo species can restore land. Their unique characteristics of quick growth, extensive root systems, and pioneer spirit can reduce erosion, stabilize slopes, absorb heavy metals, create shade, harbor wildlife, recycle carbon dioxide, and clean the air. Planting and managing sustainable bamboo forests allows for multiple social benefits, including rural development, improved housing, agroforestry products, which includes nutritional food and alternative fiber, with the big bonus of climate mitigation. Bamboos are natural flora in temperate, tropical, and subtropical parts of the globe, native on every continent except Europe and Antarctica. And the latest estimates are that there may be some 50 million hectares of bamboo around the world. That's nearly 124 million acres. Bamboo fits well into a landscape mosaic of interdependent land uses. Degraded lands around the globe with diverse habitats could be replanted with bamboo. The United Nations has declared 2021 to 2030 as the decade on ecosystem restoration, a massive global call to action to mobilize the political and financial support necessary to restore deforested and degraded ecosystems over the coming decade. As a member of the United Nations Global Compact, the World Bamboo Organization endorses this initiative and sees real potential where bamboo can help with many of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The World Bamboo Organization has also signed the Kew Declaration on Reforestation for Biodiversity, Carbon Capture, and Livelihoods to protect and restore the world's forests. This important manifesto outlines key requests to policymakers, reforestation financiers, and practitioners to enable better decision-making for global reforestation to safeguard forest biodiversity, mitigate climate change, and improve livelihoods. To the planet, we say bamboo now. We say plant bamboo. It is time to plant bamboo and not simply use it.
It is now a privilege and an honor to welcome Mr. Sanjeev Karpe, who is a pioneer on contemporary bamboo construction and bamboo products. Mr. Sanjeev is an electrical engineer by profession, and the best part with him is that he works at the ground level and he has a lot of connect with the rural India. And he has been working in bamboo for the last 17 years, and he has set up a self-sustainable bamboo-based enterprise. And he occupies a lot of different, several positions. He is a founder and director of Konkan Bamboo and Ken Developmental Center, which is a Sankalp award-winning social enterprise. He is a director of Center for Indian Bamboo Resource and Technology, he works passionately with the primitive tribal groups of South Gujarat, for Government of Gujarat. So that's really recommendable. And also he's an expert member of the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan in Bar, which is headquartered in Beijing, and also chairman of Modular Bamboo Furniture Cluster, Sindhugarh, which is supported by the Government of Maharashtra. So there's a lot of work Sanjeev has done, and we are fortunate to have him. And he has also won a lot of awards for his constructions. So we can hear from Sanjeev. He will tell about all his work. So Sanjeev, the platform is yours now.
Thank you, Nirmala ji. Thank you very much, Professor Nirmala ji, for giving me this opportunity. I'm delighted to give my presentation on the eve of International Bamboo Day. So when we talk about bamboo in India, the first thing which comes to our mind is a bamboo which grows in forest, which is typically thorny, difficult to harvest, and not so straight. Okay. In 2004, we started an organization, NGO called Konkan Bamboo and Ken Development Center, under leadership of Honorable Suresh Prabhu, who was then Member of Parliament from our region. We got a technical support from NBAR. NBAR is an intergovernmental international body dedicated to research and promotion of bamboo, headquartered at Beijing, China. The first thing which we did is we thought that we need to improve the quality of raw material. So we started motivating and giving training to our farmers to start proper farming of bamboo. And we helped nursery guys to create a better planting material. And after a few years, our farmers started growing this type of bamboo. This is proper farming of a bamboo of a species called Dendrocalamus stocksii. which was a locally available species. So once we have this this bamboo, see the comparison. Left side is a typical Indian bamboo, and right side is the bamboo grown by our farmer in Sindhu district. Then we set up a facility to pressure treat the bamboo, because bamboo on its own is not durable material. You need to treat it, and if you have a pressure treatment plant, then controlling quality of a treatment process is very easy. So we set up this facility. If you treat a bamboo in an interior condition, it will last long for minimum 100 years. Then we have set up a facility where primary processing is done, and trained our artisan to do straightening of bamboo. This is a traditional way of straightening the bamboo by just heating it and applying a pressure. But if you see, the left side is the bamboo which is grown by our farmer, which is a fairly straight, but after doing a straightening, it is as good as pipe. This is the skill we taught to our artisans, and using the same skill, the bamboo can be bent in such a uniform way. So, and without creating any burn mark on the skin of bamboo. And then we set up a facility where treated, graded bamboo is available of any shape and size. And this is the way how we converted bamboo into the material as a commodity. Okay, you should able to get this material as a commodity in the market. Then we trained our artisans to do craft, particularly keeping in mind corporate gifting, and then memento industry and lighting. And after all these things, we understood that all these things need glamorization. So we are fortunate enough to involve top people in our country to help us to glamorize this material, right from Amitabh Bachchan ji to Ratan Tata ji, then Mukesh Ambani to President of India, and then we thought that now it's time to go for a furniture. So we trained our artisan to do bamboo furniture and started doing this type of design. So we started getting acclaim. People started recognizing us. We got everybody is happy with the product, but this product is not suitable for a urban crowd. No, this is good for a farmhouse, but not good for a living room of a flat in a city. So then we thought that we need to introduce contemporary design, and after doing that, we have trained 300 artisans in our region to make a furniture and set up a proper facility where bamboo furniture is produced in number, and then started producing furniture which is acceptable to the urban crowd, and slowly getting excellent response from the mainstream market. And our challenge was to change the image of bamboo from poor man's timber to rich man's privilege, because typically bamboo furniture is not durable, it is not so good, it is not contemporary. So we have changed this image by introducing designs which are contemporary, quality, which is acceptable to the niche market. And after getting a success in this, we decided that we'll go for bamboo construction. We started with typically landscape elements, and got excellent response from the market. Then slowly we ventured for garden structures like this. If you can bend a bamboo, then all the garden structure like a trellis is possible. Then we started doing the fencing for elite houses, barricading fencing, and in that also we got a good response from the customer. Tourism industry particularly gave us good feedback and good response, because they are looking for the eco-friendly, sustainable, natural material. So we could able to do all this project on a turnkey basis for a client. And after seeing all this good response, we thought that now it's time to prefabricate all the components in the factory, just like a prefabrication of a metal component. So now we prefabricate bamboo components like this, packed it, and then through a longer trailer, 40 feet long trailers, it is been sent to the site, and this is the actual construction of the site. So this gives us needed confidence that yes, with the bamboo you can create really good structure. Uh, we started doing cottages first, complete cottage made in bamboo. These are the pictures I'm showing you, are the different projects we did for different customer. We always kept in mind that our product should be aesthetically beautiful as well as durable. So right from door handle to roofing material, everything should be bamboo. This is the cottage which we did for World Sustainability Summit at New Delhi. And after that, we started doing a bigger structure. This is the structure made for one builder in Hyderabad. This is a clubhouse, 10,800 square feet of a structure with 54 feet span. And this particular project gave confidence that yes, we can do good looking, aesthetically beautiful and strong building with bamboo in India. Then we started getting orders. This is the project which we did in Bangalore. This is a welcome launch for one real estate project. Here the roofing material is also bamboo. The flattened bamboo shingles used here. And we found that the builder who gave this order to us could able to find a value for money for this material. And with all this, we ultimately decided that let's go one step ahead and start doing construction in a pre-engineered, prefabricated manner. Raja Rajeshwari Temple Trust gave us this opportunity. This is a banquet hall for them at Hulkoti in Karnataka, 500 people sitting capacity hall. And we did this, all the work in a pre-engineered building construction manner. All the components are made in the factory. And if you see this, that the complete erection of this 6,800 square feet of a building, of a skeleton, is done in just 9 days. So if you can see, if you see the accuracy also, many times people confuse whether this is a bamboo or pipe, but this all are bamboo. And with this technology, we are geared enough to do any size of a building anywhere in the country. The government of Maharashtra gave us opportunity. This is a research institute of forest department, 1 lakh square feet constructed area in bamboo, right from roofing material to flooring, everything is bamboo here. And due to this project, the Bureau of Indian Standards, IS code, third-party testing, everything is put in place, and we could able to demonstrate that yes, bamboo building can be constructed of this scale, and that too for government also. Then we got an opportunity to work with Hilton Group of Hotel, which has 6,200 property across the 112 countries. They have 18 brands, and Wardrobe Osteria is the highest high-end brand of a Hilton Group. They are doing a resort in Maldives at Itapushi Island, and this restaurant, there is a global tender for this restaurant, and luckily we got this tender. We made all this component in our factory at Kudal. It is first assembled in Kudal, then dismantled, and we took it to the on the site in Maldives. And this is the construction done by our artisans from small villages in Sindhur district. And this particular resort is a very high-end resort, and our bamboo and our technology could able to fulfill the requirement. This particular work has been rated as world's top 16 best waterfront restaurant by CNN UK, and world most beautiful restaurant by the Forbes magazine. We got multiple repeat orders from Maldives country. This is the one more restaurant which we did in Maldives. This is a turtle bag shaped restaurant. And right from chandelier to complete structure, design built work has been done by us for the customer. And this gives us needed confidence that yes, we can do it. The bamboo which is hollow can be converted into strip like this, and this strip can be pressed together to make this type of board. Sri Ratan Tata ji gave us a financial support to do all needed trials, and we converted this Burma bamboo, which is available in Karnataka, to this board, and then this bamboo board is converted into furniture like this. And no, you can literally replace wood in any form. In this, you can do this is a laser cutting, you can do carving, engraving, anything is possible. This is the work which we did for Infosys, right from flooring to roofing, everything is bamboo here. And this gives us confidence as well as no recognition that no world-class work can be done with bamboo in India. This is the one more important development is international airport coming up in Bangalore. Complete terminal is being done with bamboo. This work is done by one German company, and bamboo is brought from Vietnam. But I am sure that once this particular airport is launched, overall image of bamboo will change, and we will then find many takers for bamboo. So I will request all of you to take this material seriously. Youngsters should come forward and venture into this. This is the material for future, and this one international airport at Bangalore is going to change the fate of bamboo in our country, and it will be material for fashion for a niche market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for such a wonderful presentation. And the projects you have done, the products you have shown, I think you have really changed the face of bamboo as a normal, common India sees it as such. And also congratulations for all the accolades you have got, because the products are really fine. And at least in this part of India, North India, we see very less of such beautiful products. And I'm very happy also to see huge constructions, because that sort of huge constructions, we only thought that South America they can make it, but now in India to see such structures is very good. And about the Bangalore International Airport also, we have only seen Madrid airport, but if that is coming, I think that will give a very big boost to the bamboo sector. And we want enthusiasts to come up and take this, as you said, take this material seriously. So thank you, Sanjeev ji, for such a wonderful presentation. And sometimes we would like you to come over here, and we'll see how we can invite you sometimes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.